Hey everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and it is Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It being Wednesday night means it's time for another episode of The Masked Dancer, episode 3, which is the Group B playoffs. That's right, I know, I get it. Last week we saw Group B for the first time, and now we're finally into a playoff, even though we're seeing Group B again. It is quite confusing, but hey, it is what it is. Look, they do like switching it up on us. I think they do it purposely just because they want us to go ahead and be on our toes and maybe just change it up so that it's fresh. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. While we're waiting for everyone to go ahead and join us, make sure you go ahead and please, a few different things. One, comment where you guys are joining us from. Two, I also want to know who you think is going home tonight. So, right where you're joining us from, right, dash who you think is going home. So we have Matthew from Oakland, California, Renee from Maryland. We have someone from UK, Birmingham. Is it Naeem? I think Naeem. I think I'm saying it right. Ariana from Indiana. Renee say Math is going home. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Sandy says, my only source for mask information. Thank you so much. Well, Riley's from New Zealand. She thinks that Zebra is going home. Cookie Dial, I like that. Cookie Dial, like crocodile. Joining us from California. Sean from Texas. Colin from Ireland. Check that out. Andy from Florida. MK Garcia 04 from Miami. Get Cal Girl from the Poconos. I was just in the Poconos the other day. And we got Lauren down in Florida. That's awesome. She thinks it's Moth. So we have a lot of people with us tonight, but 104. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys joining me. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We have 56 minutes until showtime, and my voice is shot because today I was editing and voicing over, at least, and no exaggeration, something in the realms of like 12 different videos. I know, it's a lot. I mean, you saw the latest one today was about the Moth because, truth be told, in the Group B playoffs, all of the previews we've seen, even on like Twitter yesterday, like Craig, the Masked Singer, Paul, and even I think Ken even all tweeted about the Moth at like the same time, which was quite interesting. And then some of the previews were like really highlighting the Moth. And normally, whenever you see my live videos and you see the preview photo, for the past 3 weeks, I've actually been right on the money. The past 2 weeks, I've been on the money by making my promo logo being who's actually getting revealed. So that's why I'm thinking Moth. Oh, the coffee, it's there. Oh, you know, the holiday blend, now that the holidays are over, Julie and I grabbed like the last box. It was like 50% off. And I love the taste of this because it tastes like Christmas and I don't want it to go away. Even though Julia, it's funny because this is my first live stream with our Christmas decorations going, with the exception of my lights, because I really kind of want to keep them. It's kind of fun. But just looking, there's no Christmas tree. There's no lights over here. It's kind of shy. It's like, oh, you guys get that feeling too when you take down your Christmas decorations and like that day you're like, oh man, I kind of feel weird, right? So anyway, let's talk about tonight's episode. We've got 116 people watching from around the world. Tonight we are seeing Group B perform. Group B consists of the Moth, the Zebra, the Cotton Candy, and the Sloth. Now, the reason why it's the playoffs because whoever is left in Group B is making their way up to the Super 6. Or I call it the top because at the time we didn't really know. So I was just like, oh, let's just call it the top. We'll figure it out down the line. But yes, that's correct. The three that are not taken away from Group B will make their way up here and be the first three at the top Super 6. I have a strong feeling that the Zebra and Cotton Candy and the Sloth are definitely, these three are definitely going up there in my mind. After watching all the preview videos, see, besides doing all the clues and doing all of the pitch correcting, all that stuff, I also keep an eye on what Craig is wearing. This is very important. Because when you're watching the videos, okay, and you see like a tease, you know, like, oh, this season's going to be incredible. And they show someone going like this with their head. Just look at what Craig's wearing. Because if he's wearing, say, for example, something blue and sparkly, you would know like, oh, hey, this week that means that blank is going home. Or like next week's episode, it means that actually, if I followed my crazy math correctly, that would mean that next week the exotic bird's going home. Quote me now. It's 7:07 p.m. on Wednesday the 13th. Next Wednesday, probably more than likely, the exotic bird's going home based off of the whole following Craig and seeing what they do. So anyway, let's go ahead and go through everything else we do know. First, before I get started, is Caitlin in the group chat. Let me pull her up here. We do have a new admin. Lauren is still sticking around, but we're also adding someone else. And so Caitlin, let me see. Caitlin, what is your username? Let's see. Is she in here right now? She may not be in here right now. Trying to find you. Caitlin. Let's see. I don't see her right now, but she'll be here a little bit later. But Caitlin Husner is going to be one of our new admins. Oh, here she is. Okay, awesome. Let me add her in. Add as a mod. So there we go. We're back up to 2. We had 2 for last season, but unfortunately, the other person can't make it for this year. So it's better when we have 2. So welcome, Caitlin, as another admin to this channel. She's going to be pretty much looking at your comments, just like Lauren, and deleting those spamming and things like that. So anyway, let's dive into tonight's episode. First and foremost, you do know that we have a guest judge. That's right. Cheryl Hines is going to be a guest judge. And yes, I know what you're saying. You know that name. Who is that? You know who that is. You know how I always say that a lot of these shows are pretty much done by the same executive producers. You know, the executive producer of Masked Dancer is the same one for Masked Singer and Dancing with the Stars, and I Could See Your Voice. So you'll notice there's going to be a lot of changeover. Think about it. Bill Nye the Science Guy was on Dancing with the Stars. See what I mean there? And now Cheryl Hines was originally a guest on Masked Singer last season, then wound up being on the panel for I Can See Your Voice, and now is a guest judge here on The Masked Dancer. Now that only says to me, where's Joel? I want Joel over here. But maybe down the line. Right now, the next 2 ones after that are not Joel. I'm kind of upset because I really do want Joel on there, but there's still plenty of time to see other people on this show. As I said before, we have the Sloth, the Zebra, the Cotton Candy, and the Moth. Only 3 are moving to the Super 6. And now let's go through the clues and the pitch correct audio. Now, before we get started, make sure you are subscribed and you turn on notifications. That way, when you go ahead and when I put up a new video, you'll find out about it right away. Let's read some of the comments going by real quick. Cricket is going home next week. The bird would not go so early. Who knows? We'll find out soon. So let's go ahead and go through the first clues. Let me read here. Someone just mentioned me in something. Andy Johnson wrote, 707, exotic bird going home next week, Joey Contino, in quotes. I did say quote me on it. But anyway, let's go ahead and go through the clues. A lot of you guys want to start with the Sloth, so let's do that, okay? So the Sloth's clues were, he says he's worked hard to get where he is today, and we see a badge, a name badge. It says D.R. Ken mentioned doctor, but a doctor isn't D.R. It is Dr. Which leads us to believe that these are initials for something, whether it is a name or, as someone said on one of my Instagram posts, I'm trying to remember, I'm so sorry to forget your name. DR could be Dominican Republic. Maybe this person is from the Dominican Republic. We need more clues, remember. He said that when he was a kid, he was in a bad accident, and people talked down and dirty to him, saying that he was a Mickey Mouse operation. So is it possible that this person, he says Mickey Mouse operation, is it possible this person either worked for Disney or maybe has theme parks like Disney, operation, something on the lines of that? We see him brushing his teeth with Gleam toothpaste. I know you're just saying, it says Gleam. It's actually called Gleam toothpaste. Someone pointed out to me. Now, if you actually Google Gleam toothpaste or toothbrush, things do come up. It is like a main brand now. I don't know how long it's been around for. I mean, toothpaste, I don't know if someone like this on the show is maybe representing some kind of, I don't even know, maybe a brand of some. I have no idea, to be honest with you. There are some sponsors in this thing that, if you look like in the premiere or in the interview after, it's like brought to you by Toyota or something like that. So it could be that, but who really knows? After that, we see this cup that says 13 on it. So what does that mean? 13 Grammy Award nominees, maybe Emmy Awards, maybe it is how many songs, albums, who knows? I know it's not an age. They're not going to have a 13-year-old on here. Then we see mixing of formulas, which could be signifying a few different things. Not really quite sure. Maybe it just means this person mixes drinks. I don't really know. See, this is why we need more clues. The next clue, which I'm told by someone who I know, that is very important. We see him locked in amber. Amber, like, I guess this is like a reference to, like, I would say Jurassic Park, because in Jurassic Park, they have a insect, pretty much a mosquito, stuck in amber, and you see a mosquito in this. And there next to that, you actually see here the sloth. So maybe this person has a connection to Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. You let me in the comments section. His word up clue was Broadway. So we do know that we have three different instances where this person was on Broadway. At least someone in the show was on there 3 different times. So maybe this person is the person who was on Broadway. And I know what you're saying, Joey. It has to be Matthew Morrison. It has to be. Come on. Matthew Morrison has been on Broadway 7 times. So unfortunately, it kind of pushes that away. And what's interesting is in his word up clue, he had some kind of like Latin accent. He was kind of really just trying to play with us, I think, because when we did the pitch correct audio, it sounded nothing like him. Now, just to give you an example, let's go ahead and just play let me raise the volume here. Let's play the word up audio of the sloth.
Broadway.
Oh, you can't hear that. 1 second.
Broadway.
Broadway, like that, Broadway, which it's kind of interesting because here's the audio that they had given us, not pitch correct. This is what they gave us.
You think I'm slow like other sloths? Think again. I'm the muscles from the jungle.
I mean, you can clearly hear there's no accent. This is before the pitch correct. There's no accent. Listen to the pitch correct audio, okay? Listen.
You think I'm slow like other sloths? Think again. I'm the muscles from the jungle. Just kidding. I worked hard to get to where I am today. When I was a kid, I had a bad accident. People talked down and dirty to me and said that I was just a Mickey Mouse operation. But I didn't give up. And now I wake up each day stronger than yesterday.
So it's kind of weird. It doesn't sound like anyone that they had guessed. It doesn't sound like K-Fed. It doesn't sound like Mark Richardson or Jason Derulo. Sorry, Mark was for a different one. We do know that it can't be Jason Derulo, as he's got way too many Grammy nominations. He would kind of bust the amount that we have on here. K-Fed, really confused on why it would be K-Fed. I feel like a lot of you guys don't even know who K-Fed is. And, I mean, that's also going back to the old Britney Spears days. I mean, he was a rapper back then and dated Britney Spears, and there was a lot of things that happened to him. I think he also married Victoria Prince. I think he's still married to her now. But there was a restraining order and all these other things that happened. And I don't really think he was ever on Broadway. I can look it up, but Broadway, what did it do? He was never on Broadway. He was supposed to be in something, but he wound up not getting in there. So let me know, who do you guys think that is? What voice does it sound like? Colin says Nick Lacey. Was he ever on Broadway? Let's look him up. On Broadway. He was on Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot. So he was on Broadway. Oh, no, that's Drew. That's his brother. So, no, he wasn't on Broadway. Let's see here. So Matthew says, is Drake? It can't be. Way too many Grammy nominations. Maurice. Let's see here. Let's see. Interesting thing here. Caitlin says, if you actually look above where they pause it for the clue package for the sloth, it actually says something with Dancing with the Stars. Wait, let me look that up. I know you're probably not like me, but I actually have every single episode downloaded on my computer because I watch it that many times. 1 second.
Straight from them.
Okay, we're going to fast forward it. All right, there's Ice Cube, Zebra, Cotton Candy. Passed Sloth already? I did. I think Sloth was the beginning. Here it is, Sloth. Okay. Give me 1 second as I play this real quick.
The jungle. Just kidding.
So on where it says Gleam, above it says Dentist Whitening Tool System, which if you spell that out is Dancing with the Stars. So it is possible that the sloth was on Dancing with the Stars at one point. Now, what's interesting is, let me pull up, he's got a stopwatch on. Oh, that's an avocado. It's an avocado stopwatch. Or at least it's just a stopwatch looking thing. So maybe that helps out for anyone? Anyone understand what that would mean? Do we know anyone who was Dancing with the Stars and could be the sloth here? I mean, we knew a lot of people would be from Dancing with the Stars. Mary says, did you just call your mom? No, my phone did just ring, though. Let's see. So I guess Jonathan Bennett, but he hasn't done Broadway. Yeah, it's hard. So we're looking for someone now who does dancing, who was on Dancing with the Stars for one season at least, who also, who also was on Broadway for at least one appearance, because he says Broadway. So, I mean, when you're making your guesses tonight, go ahead and think of that. I don't think he's getting revealed tonight on the show. So, you know me. I like to wait to at least 2 episodes of per person. That way we can go ahead and make a real guess, because it's kind of hard to guess off of just one episode. I mean, Tulip, let's just say Tulip. We need another week of Tulip. That way we'd solidify our answer, which I want to try to do sometime next week. Maybe we'll do a video like, who do you think it is, like we did today when it came to the, let's see right here. Let's see what you guys wrote on here. Sorry, someone just sent me a message on Instagram. Caitlin says, who do you think is leaving tonight? I believe that the Moth is leaving us tonight. That's why I put up a video a little bit earlier today. All right, so someone's saying it's Derek. It might be, but I don't think Derek's been on Broadway, has he? Derek. He was on Dancing with the Rain. No, he was supposed to go on. Derek. He was on Hairspray Live. It was on TV. New York Spectacular, no. No, he was never on Broadway. He was off Broadway. He was on the West End, which is in London. And then he was on Hairspray Live, which was NBC televised. So he was never on there. Anyway, let's go ahead and go through the next person. Let's go through the zebra. Is that what you guys want, the zebra? Cookie Dial says, let's do zebra. So let's go ahead and dive through that right now. Zebra. The voice does sound a lot older with the zebra. Maybe someone in their early 50s and older. It starts off as an old movie set. He's in his car driving. You can tell that they're about to film something, because in front of them, a director's slate comes in front of them. The slate's a clicker clapper thingy. And on there were 2 different Oscar winners who were directors. So maybe this person is an actor, and we are missing a lot of people from the master list that would kind of fit in here. On the car itself, the license plate is 154128. For the zebra, do you guys have any idea what those numbers mean? Ariana's right. Yes, everyone. Does 154-123 mean anything? Oh, wait. Is it at a zip code? We'll try 154. 154. Let's see what comes up. 154 128. 128. Let's see. I don't think that's a zip code. No, I don't see anything that comes up. 154 128. So what else? Let's see here. Car 54. Where are you? Maybe. So it looks like no one can figure out what those numbers mean. Obviously, those are very important. Riley says 154 128 is the weight group Oscar did. What does that mean? Weight class. Let me Google that real quick. Oscar de la Hoya. 120. Let's see what comes up. When you put those together, 154 and his name, I don't really see anything that actually pops up. 154 128. The only thing that really comes up, here we go. Boxing champion. Okay. Okay. Here we go. New York Times. May 4th, 2003. World Boxing Council 154-pound champion Oscar de la Hoya fight a third bout with Marco Antonio Barrera at 128 pounds. Okay. So that is something that does fit up to the boxer's weight. That's not bad at all. 128. Like refers to boxer's weight. He's been quoted saying that he'll do some damage at 154 when discussing his potential 2020 comeback, and he started boxing at 128 pounds. But what would describe all of the camera crew and all the filming? Has he done movies? Has he done stuff like that? Let me know. Let's see what he's done in here. How many movies has he been in? If he's been in movies. Or is it that they put the Oscar winners on there just to kind of lead you to say that it is Oscar? That is something we can look into, guys. He did say a comeback, and right now he's going through his comeback. He says he's fallen out of the limelight and grew up through a tough neighborhood. Where did he grow up in? Do we know where he grew up in? Let's see. Born. Let's see where he was born at. He was born where? In Montebello, California. Was that considered a bad place? I mean, you let me know. I don't know anything about that town. If you look at his gold medal, it has a number 3 on there, and then we see a number 11, and then OS. So the gold medal with the number 3, did he win the third of something? Third place of something? He was from Mexico. I mean, it doesn't say, well, he could have been born in California and moved to Mexico, but he is a gold medalist. Is he really? Okay, let's see. Gold medalist. He boxed in the 1992 Summer Olympics lightweight. Barcelona Games. Let's see if he has which medal. No, I don't want the video. Do we know, did he get bronze? Because that's what the number 3 stands for. He's got 3 gold medals. He's won 11 world titles. Wow, so you guys pretty much have him pat down. Well, let's try this, okay? Let's grab a clip of him speaking. Here we go. We're going to go. Oscar de la Hoya interview. Let's grab a clip of him speaking and then compare it to the pitch correct audio.
You're watching
our generation. So you have him carrying McGregor for 4 or 5 rounds, right? So he can go 10 rounds.
Here is the pitch correct audio. Let's go. Sorry, my computer sometimes does not want to load. A little faster, computer, come on. So if we were to go ahead and play that back to back, I don't think the audio matches up as well, because this is what the sloth sounds like once we play the pitch correct.
You think I'm slow like other sloths? Think again. I'm the muscles from the jungle. Just kidding. I worked hard to get to where I am today.
And collect his money in the sports book. I mean, it's no secret that Mayweather bet on himself.
You think I'm slow like other sloths? Think again.
Hear that? I can hear it a little bit. You let me know. Do we agree? Do you guys think it is Oscar? Aaron says Ricky Martin. It can't be Ricky Martin. He's got way too many Grammy nominations. Let's see. Oh, does he? Someone says Oscar has a Grammy nom. Does he really? No way. He's listed as an artist, and he actually has 1 Grammy nomination. Okay. So that actually kind of works out for him. All right. So it looks like all you guys are pretty much saying that, yes, it sounds like he has, well, he does have an Olympic medal, which would help us out. And from there, he does have a Grammy nomination. Let's look at the master clues for a second here. See what we have left. Because we have 38 million albums sold worldwide, 20 Emmy Award wins, 20 Grammy Award nominations, 10 Will Dance titles, 5 New York Times bestsellers, 4 Olympic gold medals, and 3 Broadway show appearances. Okay, but if we were to go back, because for the sloth, let's go down for a second here. Let's go back to the sloth. His word up clue was, that's Moth, sorry, is comeback. I mean, look, it seems like it's very plausible that it's him. So I guess for right now, for your guys' sake, I guess we'll say just Oscar. I don't even know where my marker went. I'm losing things. Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry. I got my Masked Singer marker. So you guys think it is Oscar. It's funny because last week, this is pretty much how we figure out who's under the mask, because we go through everything together. Last week, you guys said Hammerhead was Vinny, which I'm going to dive into this week. And Moth, we're going to scratch up here. You guys think that the zebra is Oscar. So not too shabby. And Sloth, you guys really couldn't agree upon just yet. So anyway, let's continue down to cotton candy. Oh, someone says, what about how Oscar and the president know each other? Let's see. Let's look that up real quick. President. Presidente. Let's see here. Did he meet a president? Is there a picture with him and a president? I mean, there is a picture of him with Donald Trump, and that looks like that is from a couple years ago. So looks like Donald Trump saw him fight once. So yes, it is plausible that the president does know him by name. So, okay, let's continue on. We have half an hour to go, guys. Let's go through the cotton candy. First of all, we know this person's young. They have to be young. They fell from like 16 feet down and didn't get hurt, which also means that they are a professional dancer, because what's one way that you go ahead and stop yourself from getting killed from falling that high? That is going ahead and stretching out. When you're stretching out, it helps your body, especially when it falls, to kind of fall and not really injure themselves. So this person's young. They're a professional. They've been doing this for a while. The Cotton Candy says that she is a perfectionist, but things in her life haven't always been so sweet. We see a plate of breakfast food, which Ashley says is an English breakfast because it's got like a side of beans with it. We see a drawing board of a wizard's hat, which I know they were saying it could be Selena Gomez, but she's got way too many Grammy nominations in order to be in this category. She says in order for her to achieve her dream, she had to move in with a new family when she was a kid. So this person obviously moved far away, somewhere potentially could be across the world or across the country, and her family couldn't move, so she had to live with another family and probably go to school or some kind of class. She does sound like she was some kind of child star, or maybe still is. We do see a big clock behind her with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, E, F, 7, 8, 1, not 1, I'm sorry, I, 10, 11, L, which backwards is life. Maybe it's backwards life, or maybe that's a clue off of something. We see the bird with the exclamation point. She talked about her fans who support her, so maybe it's someone who's online, a YouTuber, something like that. She says that she's a fighter, and we see cupcakes with big lips on them and eyelashes. And her word up clue was prime time. So what is your guys' guesses? Someone says Gabby Douglas. Gabby Douglas. Let's see. She is a gymnast. She's about 5'2". She's about the height that we're kind of going for here. Especially if you stand. It's kind of hard to judge with Craig a little bit because we're kind of used to seeing Nick and go, oh, he's 6 and this and that. But with Craig, we kind of really don't know Craig as well. Obviously, Gabby is a big name when it comes to gymnastics, and she is known to be flying in the air. So that would kind of work out. And she's an athlete, which means she's very nimble and she can stretch a lot so she would not fall. She is, let's see here. We need to go through some of these clues to match them up. She talked about prime time. A lot of you guys are also thinking it's Julianne too. Let's see here. Someone says Dua Lipa. Unfortunately, Matthew, it is not. Julianne was in Harry Potter. Really? Okay. Well, that would explain that clue there. Only thing is she is 5'3". I guess that's pretty accurate to where we kind of want to be. I believe she was on Dancing with the Stars, right? Which would definitely fit into this. Which season was she on? Forget which season she was definitely on though. So that kind of fits in with the producers. Now, last week, the way that we kind of figured out Vinny was the hammerhead was because some of the producers started liking their clips and videos. And I'm on their Instagram right now just because I want to see if anyone did that again. I know it's a bad way of figuring it out, but it happens. I also like to go back to see if they were in California at that time. I believe they actually live in California, don't they? We know they were over there for the Disney sing-along. Going through the post. So it does look like they were in California at that time. So there's a plausibility for that. So it could be. What other guesses you guys may have? Let's go ahead and listen to pitch correct audio while we have it. Here's the audio that they gave us.
I'm definitely a perfectionist, but things in my life haven't always been so sweet. Growing up, I was kind of an all-around whiz kid.
And now here is the pitch correct audio.
I'm definitely a perfectionist, but things in my life haven't always been so sweet. Growing up, I was kind of an all-around whiz kid. I had big plans. In order to keep my dreams, I had to move in with a new family. I was just a kid and I got so homesick. I had trouble keeping up, but if I learned anything in my life, it's when times get tough, I can't just quit. I'm a fighter. And my new fan gave me a safe haven to keep going.
All right, so
With this,
let's go ahead and play just a different clip of audio. I want to listen to the interview clip. That way we can compare her voice. Here we go.
That I could ever hope for. I get to literally sit in a chair, watch people who are just pouring their hearts out.
I'm definitely a perfectionist,
Okay.
but things in my life haven't always been so sweet.
So
Growing
this is
up,
the pitch correct audio. Listen to it again, okay?
I'm definitely a perfectionist, but things in my life haven't always been so sweet. Growing up, I was kind of an all-around whiz kid.
So listen to that and then listen to this.
Are you clowning
1 second.
Yeah.
on AGT? Are you having the time of your life? First season
1 second.
in that seat.
Honestly, this is the greatest. I don't even want to call it a job because it doesn't feel that way. I mean, this is the greatest thing that I could ever hope for. I get to.
So the audio does sound like it kind of does match up. What do you guys think? Kaweem says it does sound like her. Christina Marie says it does sound like her as well. Zuma Toy says we need more clues for this. Yes. I mean, this kind of goes back to what I always say, is that whenever we start a new season, I normally don't do my big reveal videos yet until we get about 2 episodes of each character in. Because with 1 episode, if you're like me, you start writing down your clues. Mine are over here. You start writing down your clues per person. And like me, I have your main bullet point of clues, the circle clues, and so on and so forth. And then from there, you come up with your top 10 names, and then slowly you do the research, so you limit them to be X, Y, and Z. And sometimes you get to the point to where they all sound like they can match people, and then that second week of clues is pretty much what gives it away. You know, we look at like Bill Nye last week. That one was kind of easy, especially with the week before with Ice-T, which is funny because I got it. I told you he was going to be on the show, but I thought it would be the Ice Cube, which wound up being Bill Nye. But still. Anyway, long story short, we need in the second episode to go ahead and cross people off. And to be honest with you, I mean, we do have 3 big guesses on here, which most of you guys are guessing the same people on here. It's also still kind of funny that we can't decide on this. And when we go through this, and I put it on Instagram at Joey Contino, a lot of you guys all guess the same things that I'm guessing. So I don't know. I guess we're kind of used to the Masked Singer being harder. So I think maybe with this, it's supposed to be more obvious. And we're kind of like really digging into it too deeply. That's why they added in all those circle clues. That way it could be a lot easier for us. But anyway, Evan says, Gabby Douglas lived with another family as well. Well, we need to go ahead and do a... Gabby, I'm going to do a whole thing with Gabby and see what we can come up with her, because let's do an interview clip. Let's do an interview clip of her. Okay?
American big gold medals.
Let's talk.
Go home with him because I hadn't been in home in so long. So I wanted to quit and give up the sport just so I can go home, because at the time it was
She has a very, very young sounding voice. Let's listen to the pitch correct.
I'm definitely a perfectionist, but things in my life haven't always been so sweet.
The voice is too deep. Here is the word up clue.
prime time. Prime time. Prime time. Here's me for Christmas. And
Oh, yeah, that sounds like Gabby. That sounds like Gabby. I mean, listen, ready?
So what happened? About 7 months before you just lost your fire?
definitely, I was very homesick. My family came and visited for Christmas, and
And then,
prime time.
first of all, there's a few things just from listening to it. When she was talking through the first interview clip I played for you, she was smiling as she was talking, which kind of brightens your voice. Have you noticed that when you talk, the way that the formation of your mouth and the way it opens actually makes a brighter tone versus when you kind of go like this? You can kind of hear the difference. And so when she's doing her clue package, she's not smiling through it, and that's what's kind of causing the voice to be a little bit different. But when she's doing her on-stage word up talking part, you can tell she's a little bit nervous in her voice, but she's also smiling at the same time. And we can look at the interview clip we just played, and she's smiling on that. So that's why that kind of matches up a lot better. For the heck of it, I'm just going to write Gabby down. Gabby Douglas. Gabby. Where are you at, Gabby? Only reason why, just for now, is because as Julianne is very, very talented, I don't think the person's younger than, I think Julianne's like really, really young as well, but not as young as her. Because I think Gabrielle, isn't she like 20? She's 25. And Julianne is... Julianne is 32. Still kind of young, but I don't think that she would have taken the fall that well. Plus, you get someone gymnastics-wise who's already doing that stuff. I mean, I did gymnastics for many years, and when you're 10 feet off the ground, especially when you're on the rings and doing stuff, you know, it's emotion. You kind of get stuck in your body of like memory, muscle memory. And I think that's pretty much Gabby. So for now, that's your guys' guess is Gabby. We'll stick with Gabby for right now. And Andy's right. Gabby was on an episode of Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz? You mean the Wizard Place? Colin says, Joe, are you doing more Masked Singer Universe videos? Yes. Yes. We just did Ukraine the other day. And if you saw the actual show, Wrote to Me and Julia, on our YouTube page. If you actually go on there, they wrote about Julie and me, and they shared it on their Facebook page, and we got mentioned on their Instagram, which was really cool. Where's it at? Where am I at? Yeah, so if you went on Instagram yesterday, you would have seen that Masked Singer, it's Masked Ukraine TV because they call it Moscow. So anyway, let's go ahead. We only have 15 minutes till showtime, and we got one more person left we haven't gotten to, and that is the person who we think is going home, the Moth. The Moth says she doesn't seek the spotlight. It draws her in whether she wants it or not. We see a box of clothes, a box named, I can't speak, man. I need more. Give me more coffee, will you? Oh, someone got pulled over. Anyway, we see a box marked clothes, but if you look at the clothes, for some reason, at that box photo, CLOTH is like very dark, and then ES for some reason is kind of lighter, like it's fading, and then they circled it, so it's like, are we just looking at cloth? Is it someone who designs clothes? As the Moth explained, she was a regular person one day, and suddenly she was making headlines with the president. So someone who was a nobody, and then randomly got into something with the president and then came out and boom, now we all know who she was. So when you're thinking about who it has to be someone that wasn't on reality TV before then, because the one person who we put in their video earlier was on reality television on Donald Trump's show and was on something else. So think about that for a second there. She had a traumatic experience that not many could have gone through. In turn, her life was changed forever. So just kind of thinking about that, you have to say to yourself, when you're really, really thinking about who was it that was a nobody, then magically came into the public with the president, and then from there had a traumatic experience, not too many people kind of jump out, right? We see the White House, the Capitol building. We see a drawing, and I don't understand this one. It looks like a drawing of Mother Teresa as a moth, as a saint. So Saint Moth, Mother Teresa? I know, kind of strange, right? The Moth is a survivor, and she uses her spotlight to shine on things she cares about the most. And her word-up clue was inspired. Pretty cool, right? Their guesses were Megyn Kelly, Monica Lewinsky, and Martha Maples. Now, if you don't know who Martha Maples were, she was was it his first or second, I think it was Donald Trump's first or second wife, who he had a daughter with, which is Tiffany Trump. So let's go ahead and go through who you guys think it is. Let's see. I Want My Sloth says Mother Teresa, which could mean that their mother's name was Teresa, which, if I remember correctly, wasn't, oh gosh, whose mother was Teresa? Let's see here. I know when I was doing the research earlier, I don't think it was Monica's mother's name was Teresa, right? No. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Whose mother's name was Teresa? Marisa, yeah, that's true. Someone says mother is Stewart. Let's go back for a second here. Raleigh says the religious clue is a nod to Monica going to heaps of religious schools. Maybe. As you know, before I put up a video telling you kind of, literally was a video before this one earlier today. I went through and compared the two biggest guesses, because earlier on Instagram, I put a thing on there for you guys to vote on. A lot of people voted. A lot of people said Omarosa. A lot of people said Monica Lewinsky. So it's kind of hard to go through. Both of them did have experiences in the White House that kind of drew them into fame. Only difference is Monica was an intern that no one knew. And on the other side of it, why did the door just slam? And then on the other side of it, Omarosa was on Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump, and there was some drama there, but she was always loyal to him. And the drama that she had was that she was Democrat, but then when she went with Donald Trump, she became a Republican or something like that. So let's go ahead. And Andy Romo said yes. Her mom's name is Teresa M. Maggolt. So let's go ahead and play the audio for you guys. Here's the audio they gave us.
You know, moths don't seek out the spotlight. It draws us in whether we want it or not. That's the story of my life.
So here's the pitch correct audio.
You know, moths don't seek out the spotlight. It draws us in whether we want it or not. That's the story of my life.
You can clearly hear a voice in there, right? Here's the word up audio.
Inspired.
Inspired. So that's where we're at right now, guys. Lauren says, I saw one guest saying Sarah Silverman because she plays someone in the White House on a show. Someone says Michelle Obama. That would be really cool. Could you imagine? I mean, technically speaking, but she didn't have a bad experience. You know what I mean? You're looking for someone that had something traumatic. I mean, when you think of traumatic, you don't think like a good experience, right? You think of something that went bad. Someone says Stormy Daniels. I don't even know. What's Stormy Daniels' mom's name? Well, Stormy's not her real name, I don't believe. Let's see. Let's see what Stormy Daniels' real name is. Stephanie Clifford. And it doesn't mention what her mother's name is. But going through the clues, I guess you technically could put her in that category as well. I only based my two guesses off of the Instagram poll I put on earlier today. But it looks like a lot of you guys cannot agree upon who you think it is. Matthew says Olivia Hall. I don't even know who that is, Olivia Hall. But once again, there's a lot of things in here that ultimately we need one more week. That's what we figure out. We need one more week of clues. John is right. Omarosa did have a horrible experience where her husband at that time was Mike Duncan, who was on the 8 Mile, the Green Mile, something like that. He did die, unfortunately. So that's where we're at. Those are all the clues and pitch correct audio that we have for you guys. The show is in about 7 minutes. If you haven't done so yet, please, please, please make sure you are subscribed and you turn on notifications. That way, when we go live, you guys will be able to get notification. Or when we put up a new video, you get up a new notification. And here is my only warning, because a lot of people got angry with me last week. The second that they reveal who's under the mask, Moth, we will put a video up probably within the first 5 minutes afterwards. So make sure, if you don't want spoilers, you don't go ahead and come back to this channel. Or if you want to know who it is, do it. Because I know a lot of people in California, and they really don't want to know. But I do have a question for you guys. Legitimately question for you guys, and I really want you to answer this in the live feed. When I've noticed other channels, because if you notice the Masked Dancer doesn't really have a YouTube page, I've noticed other channels put the clue packages and the judges' guesses together for a video. They normally put it up the day after the show or later on that night. Would you guys, along with me putting the reveal on TV or on here, would you like me to go ahead and put together a video after the show going through the judges' guesses and the clue package? That way you can watch them together. It would be their video that I just kind of edited together. Is that something you guys would want? And Greg, we definitely don't mention that name on the show. So you guys are saying, oh, it's a lot of yeses. Okay, so that's a lot of yeses. Evan says, Joey, make new merchandise. What kind of merchandise would you guys want? We still have our pins, by the way, wherever they are. They're somewhere around here. Let's see. They're the Masked Singer ones, but we don't really call them that for copyright reasons. And they're right here. So we do have I Knew It pins. Yeah. Which is a play off of what they always say in the show, when Nick Cannon always said on the show. So if you want to get one of these, I think they're only $6, which is actually quite inexpensive for pins. So if you want to get one of them, you can click a link in the description below. We also have mugs, t-shirts, and things like that you can purchase too if you want to support this channel. But we have about 6 minutes until showtime. I'm probably going to get off just a little bit early. If you guys want to play along with me when the show is airing, send me a message on Instagram at Joey Contino, and we could talk during the show. And if you have any ideas for merchandise, let me know. Let me know. Send me a message on Instagram at Joey Contino as well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I have a few phone calls because like 7 people called me while I was on here. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. And I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for joining me every single time I do these videos and joining in when I put up a new video. I really appreciate it. Julie appreciates it. And Ms. Little Nala, where you at? Nala appreciates it as well. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe. We got 4 minutes until showtime. I'll talk to you later. Bye.